everybody.
Welcome to the second day of this
Because I don't know.
project conference.
Yes. And
Today we are having this fireside chat
perfect.
with Christof about so
And I give it an assign to start.
Sorry?
I give it an assign to
Perfect.
start.
Do we need to switch them on?
no, I think they should be on.
How close?
I don't hear anything yet.
Ah, this one.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second day of the Zero conference here in Vienna, in the Vienna International Center. Today we will have a fireside chat where we will discuss the two networks, the UN Disability Inclusion Network and the League of Extraordinary People from the Dutch MFA. And the two of us who will explain these two networks, this is myself, Sotirios Markopoulos, and Christof Ephraim from the Dutch MFA. Myself, I'm a middle-aged, white European man wearing glasses, brown hair, green eyes, you won't see that probably, having a blue suit today, a dark blue with a red tie. And Christof, maybe you want to explain how you look today?
Yes, I'm Christof Ephraim, co-founder of what we call it Foreign Affairs Onbegrensd BZ, or Foreign Affairs Without Borders, and also from the League for Extraordinary People, here with many people with a delegation. And I'm wearing also a blue suit, glasses, a yellow tie, and I wear a hat. It's also a blue hat that suits with my suit. And so, we are here to have a chat together to introduce our networks to you. And so I want to ask Sotirios about the Disability Inclusion Network here at Vienna. Could you introduce what your network is, what you do, and also what you're aiming towards? What are your goals?
So, thanks, Christof. Our network here consists actually of employees, people who are working in this building from all different organizations here. The Vienna International Center here in Vienna has about 5,000 people in this building. We are all volunteers. We are not being paid for it. And we are all affected by disabilities, either ourselves or having family members with disabilities. And it is not an endeavor by one organization or one entity, but actually it's cross-organizational. So our members are from all organizations that you have in the building, the IAA, UNIDO, CTBTO, UNOF, and even other ones. And what makes us special in a certain way, it is that we are a network that was initiated in a bottom-up way. Contrary to other networks where there is at a certain point an order to start something from the top, we just gathered ourselves because all of us knew one or two or three colleagues in this building with something similar, but we managed to organize ourselves, and now we are about 80 members. And our main work, because you spoke about goals, Christof, our main work is actually peer support. So we are helping ourselves. To give you an example, it's a very simple thing. a new colleague comes here to the building from abroad, let's say with a child with a disability, and when he comes to our network, we will go together for coffee, and we will look for another colleague in the network with a similar case. And we try to bring them together. And this bringing together for 1 hour can already change the whole world for that person, because it will give that person a lot of information, especially if the other one is already a few years down the road. So this peer support is our main work, and this is still our biggest achievement, and I'm very proud of it, because we managed to help a lot of colleagues by using this approach. If I come now to the league, because I think this is what the audience is interested in, our two networks are similar in a certain way, because we're changing the world to something better, but at the same time we have some differences. We are somehow bound to this building, which is a limitation that we did for ourselves because we didn't have the resources to support more people. But at the same time, we have colleagues from all over the organizations that we have here. So it's not just one organization. While the league is different, because actually you are somehow from one or two organizations. It's actually the Dutch MFA, but at the same time you're spread all over the world.
Yes, and actually at the Dutch MFA, there the league is only 2 years old. But in 2018, the first league was founded at the Dutch real estate agency. And that was also because some people with a disability at the Dutch government, they face challenges. It's like, how do I advance my career? Or how do I talk actually about my disability to my employer, my boss? And so this league was founded, and in 2019 the League for Extraordinary People of the Dutch government was founded, and last year we celebrated our first lustrum. And we have now also a budget of 100,000 euros, which is really amazing and allows us to be here and talk here with you. And also that, 2 years ago, then the League for Foreign Affairs was founded. And nowadays we have 18 leagues across the Dutch national government, at departments, executive agencies, and the league is like the sort of the umbrella that brings them all together and connects them all. Now, an important aspect for us is, I think, 5 goals or 5 pillars, starting with physical accessibility. It's like, can you drive in a wheelchair to the building or walk there safely with a stick? Another one is digital accessibility. It's like, can you use the platforms that we have? Do we have like accessibility software that everyone can use and that doesn't run into problems with the ICT systems? Do you also have social accessibility that is focusing on if I need a system and am I dependent on the agreement of my team leader, or can I go there directly? And then it's also, of course, advocacy. That's also why we're here. We want to make ourselves known so that everyone knows we're here, the league and DIN. And then we also have like improving HR policies so that everyone gets equal treatment. And that's for us very important. So for you here, the focus is then peer-to-peer support. For us, we have these 5 things. And also another special thing that we will do is that we're going to talk to the Secretary Generals of Education, of the Department of Home Affairs, also Social Affairs. And that because in the highest management organs, they do want to support this, but often it's like, how can we do it? What we do is like, we can help them to help us. And how is that for you? What are the things that you will be focusing on in the months to come?
Thanks, Christof. You brought up 2 things that are actually very interesting. First one, where you spoke about the 5 pillars.
Yes.
All these areas we are touching as well.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, today we have just 15 minutes, so we won't be able to go into the details. But there was another important thing that you brought up, and I think this is of importance, especially for our audience today, because the context is here to learn for other people in other places how they could build up something similar like what we are doing. You spoke about your budget, and I'm really impressed what you managed to organize. In our case, we don't even have a bank account yet, which sounds funny, but we managed till now all of our events, and we did a lot of them, to get the support of our staff councils. So our staff councils were actually paying for them together. And of course, here in the building, we have the wonderful support from organizations that we are allowed to use conference rooms whenever they are not booked for other things. So money is a wonderful thing to have because it manages, I mean, in your case, it's not possible without it, you have to travel. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you can change already the world without having any money, just by doing the right things. So in case you are already planning to build something up like us, don't be shy. And another thing that you brought up, if I might, because you said you will speak with your general secretaries, and this is something that is important for these kind of networks like we are doing, because both of us are actually in a certain way a bottom-up approach. If you start bottom-up, it is very important that you really include the people who have a skin in the game. Without it, it will never work. So if you have people included who are just doing it because it's a job, it's not bad. But of course, you know, they will do it just from the morning till the evening, and then, well, it's just a job. It's important to have people included who are affected directly and are really, you know, interested in getting the cause forward. And as a bottom-up approach, you will manage to get these people together. You manage to do things like we did our peer support, but at a certain point, it is important that you connect to your heads of organizations, your general secretaries. You need the support or just the acknowledgement in order to change the culture in your places, in your organizations, in whatever you're working, companies. And for that, everybody in the company needs to see that the people who are on the top are supporting that cause. And this changes everything. This is our experience here. We ran a lot of events for awareness raising, but we have the support from the heads of our VBOs, and we are so grateful for it because this really changed the culture in this building. So now everybody sees that having a disability or having a family member with a disability, it is not to be considered a problem. These people just need a little bit more flexibility, and at the end, they're performing sometimes much, much more than other people. Because all of us have it somehow that we want to prove to the world that we can do our job. So we are sometimes even doing 110% to prove it. So there's a benefit for the organizations, a benefit for the companies to support these kind of endeavors.
I cannot agree more with what you said, and that is also because often you run into extra challenges as an employee with a handicap. So what we do is actually bring something extra. We're creative, come with solutions. So at a public service, be it a municipality, or even until the highest level at a federal ministry or multilateral organizations like here, this provides for us the opportunity to really engage, bring something of added value, and it's wonderful that you said like here the peer-to-peer support, because although it's not a very official thing for the league, it's what we do all the time. We help each other grow stronger, and also like it's just that idea. You're not alone. There's probably other people here at your organization, and you can help them. And that's why, like Sotirios, I want to invite you that if you have a similar organization as the Disability Inclusion Network here or the League for Extraordinary People, approach us. We want to get to know you. And also, if you're very keen to set up a similar network like us, then come also to us, because we would also really like to engage with you, so that, yeah, you can set up a similar network, or also that we can learn from you, from your experience about how it's organized your public sector.
So, thanks, Christof. You brought it up nicely. If you plan to do something similar, or you have already done something, we are wonderful two examples of how we did it in a total different setting. So we did it within a building, and you in the league did it spread all over the world. So depending on how your solution is needed to be done, you can approach one of us or both of us, and we will do our best to assist with best practices and our experience. Because at the end of the day, it is us who have to make the change. We have to put the efforts to make the workplaces accessible for all of us.
Yes, so that we can help you to also help us, and vice versa. Thank you. Wow. Thanks for that.
Christof, thank you. It was a wonderful experience.